Mayor Finley. My name is Isaiah Shingleton, and I am doing a report on three branches of government, which are legislative, executive, and judicial.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Who's in charge of the executive branch?
Of the city of Madison, or the United States. So let's go back and I'll equate the two of them. The United States, obviously, the executive branch is the president, so it's President Trump right now. In the city of Madison, the executive branch's office is the mayor's office. So I'm responsible from an executive standpoint. The mayor has 4-year terms. You run, you have to be a citizen of Madison, and then you win, and through an election, you have to get 50% plus one vote, and in turn, you start on the first Monday of November, and you run for you're in office for 4 years. So the mayor is the executive branch in the city government, and he is just like the president when it comes to the nation.
Can you tell me something about what it does?
What we do, it's a great question. So the biggest thing we do is enforce the laws and the regulations that the city council, which the city council is just like the legislative branch, the senators and the congressmen, but we enforce the law within the city, and we manage the people within the city. So an example of how, to me, things work is the mayor comes in with a platform, just like the president comes in with a platform. I believe I have a vision, and I have to say, here's what I feel like we should be doing over the next 4 years. When I win, I come into office, but to do that, I work with our department heads. They're the ones that every day, so we take that vision and we turn it into what I call measurable objectives. What that means to you is if I think recreation is important and we need more soccer fields and more baseball fields, I need to put a plan in place that's going to help make that happen. When I do, it costs money. The money is, I have to put a budget in place, and the budget goes to the legislative branch, or in our case, the city council. They approve it, it comes back to the mayor's office, and they say, yes, we agree, here's the money to go get it done, and my responsibility as mayor is to help go get it done. In addition to that, I'm responsible for making sure the police department and the fire department are doing the right things to keep you safe, that your trash is getting picked up in your fields, and all the things are happening and making it done. So the biggest thing we do is set vision, define what we're going to do that's measurable, that you could put your hands on and actually show something, give it to council, get their agreement, and then we go make it happen.
How did you become a mayor?
A lot of hard work. The one thing about it is I didn't ever think I would be mayor, but in the city of Madison, I finally realized I felt like some things needed to be done differently, and I looked around and it didn't seem like anybody else had the same vision at that time, and so I decided to run. So in that, you have to officially announce and go through the legal process. But the reality of how you win in the city of Madison is you define what you believe in, you get a team of people that helps you, and then you basically go knock on doors and talk with folks like your parents and say, you know, my typical thing was, hi, I'm Paul Finley, I'm running for mayor here in the city of Madison. I believe in A, B, and C, and I'd like to ask for your vote. And you're hoping that they would get your vote. So you have to work very hard, but you have to run a campaign, and then once you win, then you have to in turn, they expect you to go do what you said you would do. And if you do that and you do a good job of it, then it's much easier the next time you decide to run, because they know who you are and you've proven yourself, and they're willing to give you another chance.
How long is a term for being mayor?
And if you think, now how long did I tell you? You remember? 4 years. You're exactly right. So I'm glad you're listening, because I know, but 4 years, and you can, and there are no term limits in the mayor's office, which is different from the president. Remember, how many does the president have term limits? How many? 4. He has term limits of 2 4-year terms is all he could run for. So just in this case, President Obama just ran from 2008 to 2012, and 2012 to 2016, and that's all the farther that he can run. But in my case as mayor, if I do a good job and if the people continue to elect me, I can run as long as I'm healthy enough to continue to run.
are your responsibilities and how do they affect the other branches?
And we talked a little bit about that, but my responsibilities are setting vision for the city, of then putting a budget in place that supports that, working with council. So how does it affect council? Someone has to say, hey, here's what we believe in and how much it's going to cost. They're the ones that vote, so I don't get to vote. They vote, they agree that that's good, and then I manage that. You know, my other responsibility that I think is so neat, and a lot of the stuff you saw in this office, is I represent the city at events, not only in Madison, but in Huntsville, and also in Redstone Arsenal, because it's such a critical piece of what happens in our Tennessee Valley. We have 41,000 people that work on Redstone every day, and so many of them are citizens here in Madison. And so I get to go to a lot of the ceremonies that happen there. I'll speak tomorrow at NASA, so I get to talk with a lot of, they have a group of leaders, and so I'm kind of a mouthpiece and a cheerleader, but also a representative of our citizens and our city council at so many community events. So yeah, it's a very tactical job in the sense that I have to actually manage people to in turn get things done for you and your family, but then I also represent the people at events to remind them that Madison cares and Madison is appreciative of being a good community member.
It is a pleasure for me being here. Thank you.
All right.